Hey y'all, it's Joefer here, the cranky old gay guy. So I felt that because the subject matter of this video is long live the king, not a fur coat was appropriate. Huh. No, I'll do something about my hair. So yesterday, I believe it was yesterday or the night before. Um, yeah, this video, by the way, is political. It's my take on a current situation that's unrolling. And it's, if you are a conservative person who supports the current administration, this is not the video for you because you're not going to like it. The Trump administration instructed their, what's the word? Oh, geez. My mind is just all over the place right now. Oh, the Secretary of Transportation to contact New York City and tell them that they're congesting. They have a program in place. It's traffic congestion that you pay to come into the city at prime times to cut the amount of traffic that's actually traveling into the city and jamming the roads, highways, and bridges. I think it's been in place for a while, and the people, I believe, in New York City like it. The people in surrounding cities, New Jersey, upstate, anywhere that's not the inner city itself, they don't like it because it costs them $9 every time they want to come into the city, rather than take public transportation, a train, a subway, a bus, or some kind of a ride-share thing. Anyway, the Trump administration doesn't like this. Why? I'm guessing because their donors live outside the city and don't like it, and they're the ones dictating. So after telling them to do this, the governor of New York State had a press conference and said, no, we haven't been under a king in 250 years, and we're not going to be under a king now. And just before the press conference, after it was made public, I think it was tweeted and went on Truth Social, the letter that was sent to New York City telling them to get rid of this program, Trump then sent out a meme of him. It is AI, obviously, or really good Photoshop. I think it's AI. Anyway, it's him with New York City in the backdrop, and he's wearing a crown, a king's crown. And it said the traffic congestion program is dead, something like that. And then it said, long live the king. So in the past, I've mentioned that Trump wants to be a king and he wants to run the country as a monarch in charge of everything. And people gave me crap for that, online and in person. Well, he just said it out loud and he tweeted it to the world. Okay? He has also kind of walked away, made our country walk away from the UN and NATO. Now, we're still in those, but not like we used to be. And he has sided with Russia in the entire Russia-Ukraine war. And he is repeating exactly what Putin's been repeating on state-run television in Russia for a long time, that Ukraine is a dictatorship and that Zelensky started the war. Well, that's not the case. Not at all. Ukraine is a democracy, and Zelensky ran a campaign, and he was elected the fair president of that country. And as far as starting the war, all Ukraine did was defend themselves when Russia invaded their country. But Trump doesn't see that. No, he wants to do whatever Putin wants him to do because he's Putin's little B word. And it's also revisionist history. He does this in a lot of things. He just starts saying things the way he wants them to be, and he repeats it enough that his followers eventually believe him. And he's done this in the past with things like, the election was stolen from me. I actually won. And he repeats it over and over and over again, even when presented with facts that that is not the case. But that doesn't seem to matter. because he is in Putin's pocket and probably Putin's up his rear. And Trump's knees are probably getting sore by now. Now he comes back to this country, and he is Elon's bee. That's right. Look at the press conference. He's sitting there mortified at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office while Elon is towering above him and behind him with a kid doing all the talking. Trump says very little. His only real interactions are with the child when the child tells him that you don't belong here, you should leave, and that you're not the president. And I think he also tells Trump to shut the F up. Now, these are little voices because he's saying this while Elon is speaking. But if you look at the video, and if you don't believe me, several people have broke the video down online. You can look at it. They've amplified what was said. You can see what was going on. And the fact that Trump allowed this just tells everyone how weak he really is. So, as far as the king thing goes, I would say you're not my king. This country doesn't have a king. We don't want a king. And I, once again, will speak to everyone out there who votes Republican. This is what you've asked for. This is what you've got. The destruction of the America that we know. Now, could programs have been audited and cleaned up? Sure. Cut out government waste? Absolutely. But just shutting entire organizations and agencies just because Elon's trying to save some money so he can justify his big tax break that is being put into the budget, which I think comes up for a vote next week or the week after. And then putting out yesterday or the day before that he wants Trump to give everybody in the country 20% of all this savings that he has found, and which is $5,000 per person. And he wants Trump to send checks out to let them know that we're saving this money, so we're giving it back to you. Well, if you look at what was cut and these savings, first off, he said that they saved 40 or 45 million or billion or something like that. And it was a typo. It was less than half of that. And number two is it's not really a savings as far as we're cleaning up waste. It is canceled contracts. He just went through and canceled. This is the Doge group, Elon's group, which now Trump says Elon's not in charge of. But Elon's telling somebody who's in charge to go do these things in the Doge group. Doji, doggy, dodgy is a good way to say it, I think, because it's all grift. And in doing so, a lot of people are going to be convinced, I think I mentioned this yesterday too, that Trump's great and he just gave us free money. Well, you've also lost programs that you depend on. A lot of people depend on. And a lot of people who are happy to get this money. I mean, if someone sends me $5,000 from the government, of course I'm going to accept it because it doesn't matter if I take it or not. It's still going to show that it was given to me, so I'm going to be taxed on it anyway, or it's going to count towards my income. So if you are on the border of a program that you qualify for to help you with your rent, your heat, SNAP benefits, childcare, medical insurance, any of those things, it's a good chance that this $5,000 is going to put you across that limit, which means you will no longer be eligible for any of those programs. So let that one sink in a little bit and think about it. Is the $5,000 that may or may not come? Right now, it's just being dangled like a carrot because they're doing this before the budget vote. I think they're doing this so people will contact their legislators and say, oh, Trump's great, do whatever he wants because he's giving us money. Now, does that mean you're actually going to get the money? No, he could change his mind once the vote goes through and he gets this big tax thing. I'll get there in a second. And he gets this tax bill through, which is a tax cut for the rich. He might just say, no, we're not going to send the money to anybody. Or he just won't say anything at all. We'll just never see it. And it won't be spoken from by his administration again. Another thing that is in the budget, which is really sketchy, is Republicans have always said we can't increase the debt. We can't increase the debt. Well, there's like a $4.2 trillion increase in the debt. They want to expand the debt. Why? Because they want to guarantee that these billionaires are going to get that tax cut that Trump promised them for all the millions of dollars that he took in from them pre-election. So that's where that stands right now. And I say no. A minute ago, I floated off on a subject I started to talk about. I think that was just the tax increase I was going to talk about. Anyhow, that's all I got for you today. This is a shorty. I have to put an actual shirt on and be gone for the rest of the day. And hopefully it won't be as long as the day as last night because it is pool night. And I would like to go play pool. I didn't go last week because we had snow. And I don't even know if they had it. I want to go, but if I don't get home until 6:30 or 7, I will be so tired that I probably won't go, which is disappointing because I do want to go. If only I could speed up how I do things and get done with everything early. But I'm not a wizard and I'm not a king. Oh, and you saw the meme that I posted here in the video of Mr. T boasting about being a king. I don't know how you feel about that. If you're one of the 9% of Americans who were polled, I mean, I never get polled. If you're one of the 9% of Americans that was polled that said, yes, you do want to be in a theocratic or a monarch type structured society where one person at the top tells you what to do, then bully for you. But that's not the majority of Americans, and it is still a majority rules country. And on that last note, there's a video going around on Instagram and Facebook, and I think it might even be on my Facebook. I might have posted it. And it's a guy who says, I wonder if the people who voted for Trump would listen if it wasn't me talking, but if it was ChatGPT. So this guy asks ChatGPT what's happening with our current situation in this country and where it's headed. And ChatGPT spells out all the steps in fascism and how these are the steps you take. You attack the media, attack voters or the voting public, gerrymander votes so you'll always be in power. Cancel or get rid of agencies, take over the power of all the executive branches and all the sub branches that are independent of the executive branch, and pretty much seize power so it all goes to one person. And everything that ChatGPT talked about is not only in Project 2025, but a lot of it's already been done by this administration. So anyone who didn't believe that was going to take place, you can still go online and find out about Project 2025 and read it. I hope that you are changing your ways. I did see on television last night, like 9 different states, governors were standing up they were having like town halls in their states. And they were telling the government, asking the government to go ahead and do whatever you want to do with policies, but don't do it in our state because our state depends on these funds and these research grants and these government entities. And I mean, it's going to deaf ears because no one in Congress gives a crap. Why? I won't say no one. I'll say the Republicans in Congress don't give a crap. Why? Because they're all afraid for their jobs. Because Elon has promised that he will wipe them out during the next election. Well, here's some, and again, I've said this before. Republicans, grow some cojones, stand up, vote against Trump's everything, because all of it is bad for this country. And yeah, you're going to get attacked and you're going to get lambasted and the MAG is going to come for you. But when 2 years come up and you're up for election and you have saved the country and saved the Constitution and the king is no longer in power and Elon is hopefully deported, if not in office somewhere or in jail, those same people that wanted you out, sure, some of them are going to be diehards and still want you out, but everyone who wanted you in and all the people who realized that you were fighting for them all along, they're going to vote you back in office and you're going to be stronger than you were before. Because if you go along with this, not only will you be condemning this country, but in 2 years, you're going to be out of a job anyway. That's right, because you won't have any power. There'll be no point in you even being in Congress because the one at the top, the Orange King, will be the one calling all the shots, or his B-buddy, Elon. So think about that, sleep on that, and that's all I got. If you'd like to comment, please do. I'm sure others would like to see your take on it as well. All right, everybody, have a good day. I am going to take off here. And, wow, it's already... Oof. Wishing y'all well. Bye-bye.
Out on the plains where the wild winds blow, there's a dream of freedom that I know, where every voice matters, you see, a place where a man can truly be free. In the shadow of the palace, can't you see, they rule over us without mercy. But a heart born free will never sing the praises of an unjust king. No, not my king. I wanna obey. I wanna live in a democratic way. My vote is my voice, loud and clear, in a land of freedom without any fear. Every man and woman deserves a choice, not silence,